Good morning. What's up, man? What's up? What's up, everybody? It is going to be a rocking 98 degrees here in good old Springtown. And it seems to be the MO for well, it is June, right? It is summertime. So there's that. But, anyways, see if notifications went out. Yep, got it there, got it here. So we're good, man. We're good. Anyways, let's turn that down. It's funny. Everybody has multiple computer screens. I got multiple devices going on, right? Pigtail, no notification. Well, how'd you know I was live then? Wishing everyone a great morning from Phoenix, Arizona. Kroger is the best. That's sarcasm. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are having trouble with notifications. Who knows? Um, it's been, YouTube's weird. You got to really master the algorithms. I know that Pale Rider has been frustrated with his numbers, and I get it. When you go live and there's only like 12 people, it's kind of a bummer. You know, I try to encourage him to keep on keeping on, and that's where I kind of got the title from, because a lot of people are struggling with a lot of different things right now, and um, and we all have to kind of help each other out, but you also have to be able to help yourself. You also have to, um, if you got people in your corner trying to help you, don't push them away. Don't throw their gifts away. Don't throw their knowledge away. If you don't want the help, just say so. Um, there's a lot of people that are struggling because of external circumstances, and there are people that are struggling because of internal circumstances. We can be our own worst enemy, right? So logistically disturbed. How are you, man? I'm sorry I haven't returned your phone call. I keep forgetting, and I apologize. But also know that you're very busy and all that. So let's do some comments here, and uh, we'll go over a few things. We got Daryl Worth. Good morning. Charles. Good morning. Hey, what's up, Charles? Hope you're doing all right, man. Jeremy Rice. Good morning. Sage News Live. Hey now. Excuse me. Donnie Luke. Good morning. Shannon. I heard Shannon's got a new hat. So Pigtail. Good morning. Bob G, how are you doing, man? Haven't talked to you in a while. Let's see. Wishing everyone a great morning from Phoenix, Arizona. So let's get up to 112 today there, Sterling. So hope your AC works. You got a notification. Thank you, Pam. I hope our conversation helped you yesterday. It's funny when you buy your first truck and then you sign on with the company. That's a lot of information to take in, and that's what Pam's going through right now. And so I was kind of reminding her that, you know what, I've been through this. Just be aware that when you go to a self-dispatch company and you're inundated as an owner operator for the first time with that paperwork, and you're inundated with all the safety stuff, and you're in the, from the company you're going to, and then their methods, and it's like, it's okay to just veg out for a couple of days. That's what I did when I first. It's actually the anniversary of when I went to Landstar, when I bought my first truck. And so that popped up on my Facebook memories, and I remember that week in orientation at Landstar. It was 3 days of orientation. It took me until Thursday and Friday to kind of get my bearings. I had a trailer right away. It was right there in the yard. There was like extra trailers there at the OC there in Indianapolis. and it was so I had a trailer pretty quickly. However, oh man, it took me until Friday to book my first load, and when I did, it delivered on Saturday in Bloomington, Illinois, and then I found out the hard way that there's no other loads that are posted on the weekends. So, first lesson learned, and of course the pressure's on because now I'm dealing with the truck payment. I had basically 3 weeks to try to come up with that money. So nasty storms came through Wisconsin yesterday. I saw that. I saw there was some tornado damage and all that. I have a buddy of mine, I think, that drove through that stuff. TK was polishing his truck. TK's got the best black and gold looking truck there, and it looks weird with the white trailer behind it, right? Right, TK. Latin modus operandi. I have no idea what that means. All right, Target is better. No, no. Now here's how you utilize Target. Pick an afternoon delivery time or an evening delivery time, and then if they let you stay on the lot, you get paid to sleep, pretty much. And make sure it's with the broker that that you don't have to fight for detention. Some brokers make it difficult. It's like they'll call you 100 times for status updates every hour on the hour, right? But then the minute that they know that you're at the receiver, oh, did you arrive at the receiver? Yep. Arrived on time? Yep. Okay. Well, let us know when you're empty. And then you never hear a peep out of them. And then when you go to call them to do the check call or email them, there's no response. I despise that aspect of the industry. It's tough to get detention, but when you work with the same brokers, with the same places, same people, then that tends to be, hey man, 4 hours, dude. Um, that so you got to be kind of, and it takes experience to kind of learn that. So I'm not having to go chase my money, and nor should I have to chase my money, right? On detention. Bull of Woods, what's up? Logistically disturbed. Big Houston. Big Rig CEO, Spooby. What's up, Spooby? Jesse, good to see you. No worries, no pressure. Good deal. I think we're all busy, and I'm doing great. Good deal. Good deal. What are average rates in dry van? Okay, well, we can go over that here in a second. Your background is post streak and beacon. Yeah, I mean that's the best time to take a picture of your truck. Come on, right? Pneumatic Brit. Good morning. Cascade, daily, and rate per mile. We'll get in that here in a second if you want, Cascade. Come help me make hay, cutting today and baling tomorrow. Now, do you do the square bales or the round things, the roller things? Back on the road now. Got a new code, SPM 605 FMI5. Did you Google that? See what it says? Morning, Rob. Shannon, yeah, we have a heat index warning here in Michigan for today. Yes, sir. I got my hat and had a wonderful visit with the professor and his family. Excellent. Good deal. So when are you coming over? When are you coming over, Shannon? To Like Truck and CDN? What's up? Let's see. We can go over some rates here just for Cascade. Just for Cascade. So let's almost hit leave studio. Don't want to do that. Let's get our other browser up here. All right. I mentioned this yesterday, but let's see. It's kind of funny. So this is the broker TMS system, right? And it's funny when rates go up, it kind of has a red, right? Like that's a bad thing. But when rates go down, it's like green. So right now, van rates, national van spot market rates, according to the index on DAT, is 270. Went down 3 cents. For dry van, 270. For reefer, 304. And flatbed is 347. And average price of fuel is 572, which is up considerably. I think last week it was at 550, 551, something like that. So, So yeah, we're still dealing with, eventually, I don't think things are dropping. Look, they want you to think that things are dropping as fast as possible. So you're not asking for a whole lot of money, but right about now is when the 30-day average is going to show lower numbers. So, know your numbers, know what you normally get, and use that to your advantage. That's the other advantage of running the same lanes is whenever the broker goes, oh, we move these all the time for 1900 for 1800 miles. You can go, well, no, I run this lane all the time and I consistently get $3,000. So if you're not willing to pay that, thank you. Have a nice day. If, you know, but always leave them an open option. Always sit there and go, if anything changes, give me a call. And the inexperienced broker will be like, they'll call you back in 5 minutes and you call on their bluff, right? But the experienced broker just won't call you back. Because they won't even use that tactic if there's a truck issue, right? If there's not enough trucks, they won't even go there with that. Usually, I don't know, it could be wrong. And sometimes you're dealing with an inexperienced agent or someone working under an agent. Like you might be a broker that has 10 people under you, and those people are paid hourly. They don't care if they sell a load or not. They don't care if they're told to stick to a certain number, and that's it. So. S squares, 50-pound bales, cutting. Gotta be out there in the heat. Make sure you stay hydrated, Orion. I'm stuck over here in Kentwood, Michigan, waiting for a load that was supposed to be ready last night. All right, so you're gonna get the 10-hour, $350, right? Right? The Schneider gives you a good truck is like your Schmeckel. If you don't use it, it quits working, or so I've heard. Let's see. Picked up the truck late yesterday. In fact, Big Rick CO, I will be probably taking a trailer to a shop here soon. So yes, the truck will be used. Picked up the truck late yesterday. Have to take it back today to fix a computer setting. I specifically asked them to check several times before I picked it up. Isn't that? It's very frustrating. You spend over $180,000 for a truck and it ain't right. If you were to go and buy a Lamborghini, that thing better be ready to go. If there's any issues, right? I think a truck should be the same way, right? Spend 180 grand on anything, house, car, truck, whatever. Should be ready to go, right? I understand that mistakes happen and some things can't be helped, but just shows you the quality issues that we have here in this country. Good morning, John. Hope you're well rested. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if I want a VNU or detention. Depends on how much longer it's going to be. Yeah, there was a shipper up in near Toledo when I was at Schneider, and I walked up to the gate and they're like, "Oh man, it's going to be like 12 hours before we can get you loaded." I'm like, okay. So I call up Schneider and say, "Hey, I need a tonu on this." Like, why? I was, well, they're not. They said they're not going to load me for 12 hours. Well, once we confirm, we'll let you know. So they confirmed it with the shipper. So I go back in. I'm like, hey, by the way, release the trailer. I'm leaving. What are you leaving for? Because you're not ready to load me. Well, but we're getting ready to load you. But you said 12 hours. Well, yeah. Okay, then you're not getting ready to load me. Well, it just completely. Well, how can you leave? I'm like, well, because I own this truck, and Schneider gave me permission to use their trailer to get out of this situation. I suggest that when you guys, book a truck, that you are ready for said truck. And it completely blew our mind that I was able to just leave, because I guess they're used to people going, "Oh, okay," So that's the beauty of being an owner operator when you can choose your own stuff, right? And it's funny when people realize that you can't just walk all over the driver, right? Now, what some shippers will do is they'll put 2 pallets in your trailer and say, "No, we're loading him." But then what I've dealt with in the future with that, or in the past with that, is I would go, "You need to get the pallets off my trailer. I gotta go." Right? So. Any suggestions on financing a truck? Um, Not really. Financing for me was pretty easy. I went to a dealership that had multiple options, which was Arrow. Arrow had multiple options. They had multiple banks that they could basically shop it out at once, kind of like insurance. And you're going to need about 20% down. So if you're buying a $150,000 truck, it's a lot of money. And then depending on the finance institution, they're going to want to see your bank account. They're going to want to see the amount of money you got in the bank. I know Lone Mountain works like that. They want to see that you can maintain it, because it doesn't do the bank any good to sit here and give you $130,000 loan after you've put 20,000 down, and you look at the bank account and you've got zero left. Well, how are you going to handle the first tire blowout if you don't have any money? So if you got a really good credit score, it's still a challenge. If you got a low credit score, it's either impossible or you're going to get reamed with the insurance, or not, the interest rate. And then you got to think about insurance, by the way, too. So my suggestions on financing is don't put so much down that you have zero in the bank. And depending on your credit, sometimes your interest is going to be anywhere from between 9 and 13% on your first vehicle, on your first truck. So I paid 13 for my first truck. I believe this current, the truck you see behind me is, I believe it was 10, and the trailer was, I think, at 9. So, but the trailer, I got no money down. And so if you do a no money down deal, which is hard to do these days, and won't happen with used equipment, it only happens with new equipment. I could be wrong, but that's been my experience. That's only going to make our payments that much higher. So, no longer an open title state. Glad I questioned the way it has always been done. There you go. I think SPN 605 is a high pressure switch on the AC. I'd try a master battery reset, then ponder panicking. Gosh, I would just love to have the power to tell him to stick it. Shipper asked me what did my dispatcher say. I told him I didn't call anyone. I was looking on the load board to see if I could find another load. He looked confused. Yeah, you almost have to talk about your dispatcher as a separate entity, right? Like, well, my dispatcher says to start looking for another load. Because they don't know that you self-dispatch there, right? Sterling, can you get my number from Steve and give me a buzz? There you go. I don't know what the options are. I mean, the last time I did financing for equipment was 2018 with the trailer that you see behind me, and it was pretty easy. I filled out a 1 page of information and got it. I mean, it was that it was literally that easy. The truck was basically, I got 15 for my Peterbilt. 10 of it went towards the Kenworth, and 5 of it paid off the Peterbilt. And if I ever want to get another truck, which I doubt I will, I can use that as a trade-in for the down payment. So, there you go. Cascade says go to your local bank or credit union as your first option. Start local first. And if your options are limited, that might be a sign to kind of chill for a second, right? Financing is a bit more difficult these days due to overinflated prices. I recommend Lending Tree. They have several equipment lenders, have all your paperwork ready to send. Just keep an eye on that interest rate. I know that Big Rig CEO and I were talking. There was one person that was going to charge them almost 45%. Is that right? Is that right, James? Would you say 15,000 with a good nest tag for maintenance issues, or is that number went up? I would want a higher number, to be honest with you, because a turbo alone could be 10 grand if it's not covered under warranty. It just depends. And then you might have a full blown warranty, and that 15 grand might cover your home and operating costs. Because you still have truck insurance, you still have trailer payments, you still have everything else if the truck goes down. So it's a good start, but I would want more, especially in this climate. Used truck prices are dropping fast. Probably want to wait a while to buy, then you'll pay more in interest. That's absolutely true. Now is not the time to buy. Pam had put the order for the truck last year. So, and the price went up during the build. There you go, Sterling. You get because I don't have Sterling's number. If I do, I've lost it. So, most banks are able to facilitate and service SBA loans. There you go. 15K is a good start, but I wouldn't want to bet the bank on it, right? I wouldn't want to bet the farm on it. And the better your credit score, regardless of whether you're going to do it under your business entity or your personal number, social security number, they if you're a one-man show, you're looking at, they're going to get both information anyways. So and look, those payday loans are that high, Dutch. I mean, we have if you notice, payday loan places are rampant in poor parts of the neighborhood, poor parts of the city. Why is that? Just like using one of them furniture rental places. You get your TV and your refrigerator and your computer at Rent-A-Center, and you're paying almost twice as much for what that thing's worth simply because you want it now, right? I listened to that FreightWave small carrier owner operator submitted. CEO of U-Ship was promoting carriers from semi to straight truck because it is cut costs in half. I disagree on concept. Insurance high. Here's the problem with straight trucks, and I agree with you, CDN. Number one, you're limiting yourself on real estate, right? You're limiting yourself on weight. And you're not getting much more. You might be expedited, but then you're working weird hours, and then you go from feast to famine like that. I talked to a couple of the expedited specialty people at Landstar, and it was like 1 minute there's 1 week you won't have any work, next week you got more work than you can do legally. And then those box trucks don't get much better fuel mileage, people. Hot shots don't get much better fuel mileage either. And at this rate, the trucks are almost as expensive as buying a used semi. Well, the old prices of used semis. I did have a predatory lender off 28%, but my current rate is 8. Okay, I thought it was like something ridiculous like 45. Payday loans are also rampant near military bases. They're trying to stop that. My bank beat the dealer by 4%. And look, a lot of dealers, I mean, Big Rig CEO, he has a lot of good insight when it comes to financing and borrowing money, because he is, you know, when you buy a personal vehicle, I mean, there are strategies that these dealerships do that pockets cash. You know, they're taking advantage of the situation, right? Per our conversation on Jeff's channel, what's your opinion on Dale's APU? You mentioned warranties being an issue if you're not nearby. Has he had issues with his APUs? Um, d- Used APUs have issues all the way around, and so it also depends on the brand. Now, Dale was the one that resurrected my Thermal King when, after the fire on the Peterbilt, that the other APU place in Springfield, I won't even acknowledge their name. They're over there in Stratford. He used to work for them, and so he knew their tricks. He knew their shortcuts. He knew their sketchiness, right? So he resurrected that Thermal King, but it cost me like $3,000 to do it, and I had to bring it back a few times, but I don't know if that was Dale's work or if that was just because the it was an old unit that had just had so many issues. Um, but Dale was always good to work with, and so if there's a mistake that they've made, they will fix it, and that's exactly what he did. You know, and he gave me a break on quite a few repair stuff. I don't know if that was out of pity. I never went in there irate, so um, I just I'm not a big fan of used APUs. I get that things are expensive and it's a high cost, but man, when you look at the price of fuel, you know, and its availability. Now, if you get a Dynasis or an off brand that's not, you know, one of the two big ones, you know, you're playing with fire. Now, the green APU, which I don't think Dale sells, um, is an option if you're mechanically inclined, because you know it's parts that you can find at your automotive store, and you can do your own services and all that. So Dale stands behind his word, and I know that he buys the Thermo Kings from Prime in bulk, which is how he makes his money. He gets them, you know, pennies on the dollar, refurbishes them, and then sells them like that. And so if I had to get a used APU, I would definitely go to Dale. But as far as, you know, issues with his APUs, I think all used APUs have issues, regardless of where you get it from. So it's just, so now it comes down to the warranty, and it comes down to, you know, if he can get you in or not. Luckily, if you come into Springfield for warranty work, it's going to be, you know, it's easy to get freight in and out of here. So, Post Trip, good morning. I saw a bit of your live feed last night. Good topics. I didn't watch all of it, but I was there for some of it. Red Diesel started asking. I just want to make sure before I make a big purchase. He's asking for $7,500, finance at $200 a month. Like I said, I haven't had any issues with Dale, other than, you know, the APU was probably, it's like trying to resurrect an old car that's been sitting in the field for, you know, 20 years. Um, it's all about, you know, look at the warranty, and you know, if there's a situation where you have to go to Thermo King somewhere else, if there was any coverage there. So I don't know, but those tri packs are normally off of prime trucks when they get traded in. All PUs have issues. Yes, that is true. I've had pretty good knock on wood luck with my carrier. Dale does not like carrier APUs. I will say that. I'm not sure why. To add a straight truck for some local moves in addition to your current semi truck might be something to look at. Then a solo driver could say, do 2 weeks out, week local, then a few days off. Yeah, if it's used for diversification, that might be good. But as far as like betting the whole farm on a box truck, I don't know. There's a lot of limitations there. And that might be just because I have some inexperience with that. I mean, I was picking up a load in St. Louis there in Earth City, and this box truck came in and his pallet had shifted and there was no way he was getting that pallet off that. And a forklift couldn't get in that trailer. So he was looking at losing his entire day because he was going to have to restack things. And I think that part of that was he overloaded the truck. It was too much weight for that little, truck. So it's a whole look. It's a whole different ball game that might look like a better option. And I imagine U-Ship utilizes a lot of box trucks, which is probably why they put out that narrative. You got to, people have to realize that's how corporatism works. Is that we gotta create a problem so we can be the solution, or like for example, there are like let's say Schneider. If Schneider wants to manipulate um, capacity, they have that ability to do that. The brokers have the ability to do that. Um, I mean, look at what happened with California over the last year. So there's always a narrative, and I'm always skeptical of, and I said it right, yay, of when a corporate CEO gets on some news source and is this an advertisement or is this you telling me like Coyote? What they'll do a lot of times, like, oh, rates are going to come down, rates are going to come down. They'll be lucky to be, And meanwhile, you think they're trying to normalize the situation that they're trying to create. Um, so there's, I don't know. It's just those are my thoughts, right? Overtax Minnesota, is this live? Yes. We are not Memorex. Luckily, if you come to Springfield for warranty work, Snorelord will buy you lunch. If Dale is in the chat, Missouri, Fate Trucking bought one of those refurbished units from last year, and how's that working for him? Did you get people for those 2 trailers in Springfield? Not yet. We're talking to one, and I believe one of the trailers is not even ready at this point. I mean, it could get ready pretty quickly, but we just acquired the second one, so that's what I was dealing with on Tuesday. It may be difficult to reach. SPN 605 is a high pressure AC switch. FMI 5 means low current. Find the switch, clean the connector, check wires. There you go. NM Personal Training. Hey, how are you all? What's up, man? Let's see. Sterling, according to Google, it's a shot. Shorten the switch. There you go. Got to run. All right. All right, Randall. Just I'll try to holler at you later. Okay. I could be wrong, but when Jeff was running numbers, APU could cost $1,000 for 20 days out, and the $50 a night. Some areas you can get a hotel $50 a night, but many areas you can't. Truck stop need more shore power. Yeah, I mean, look, there are some rest areas like in Pennsylvania, some travel centers that have like kind of a shore power kind of setup, and then you had Idle Air, which was big in the early 2000s, but they've all gone under. When fuel got cheap, they all went under. And so everybody kind of did away with all those other options. And you got to realize not everybody's an owner operator, so you have a lot of company drivers that will idle the truck because they're not paying for the fuel, right? So they got to keep comfortable. Or think about this. I always wanted the dog on the truck, but if I relied on an AP only, there were times when the breaker would go out, and if I had left an animal in the truck, it would have been gone because it would have just blown hot air all day while I was out away from the truck. And so, but yeah, I mean the second biggest reason other than fuel to get an APU is because these new trucks don't like idling. I mean, you're saving wear and tear on your DPF system, which obviously is going to become a problem as we deal with these depth shortages and everything else. Chuck for Life, good morning. Chad sends, I'm not even going to attempt that. Good morning from Orlando. Good morning, Jeffrey Like. This is why you need proper truck channels. Shout out to the Post Trip invited onto a weekly podcast radio show. Good deal. Idle Air seemed that too much investment in hardware. It was there was some impracticality to it. How come we don't hear the drumbeat of let's all go natural gas semi trucks? Because natural gas has the same issues of other fossil fuels. And that experiment, I don't know. I see JB Hunt and PTI trucks with that stuff, but and UPS, but I don't know how well it's going. Truck Imagine is $1,000 a month. Oh yeah, truck idling, right? Truck idling. All right, so let's do this. The cat is outside meowing, and it will meow. I'm not going to let him in and out anymore. Copy. We'll put a link out if you guys want to come in and say your 2 cents. If I don't recognize your name and I don't see an image, then I probably won't let you in. So there's that. We got to not eliminate, but try to keep some of the trolls out of here. You guys can bring up anything you want. When it comes to this kind of stuff, look, a lot of people are hurting, and a lot of people are now recognizing that the storm that we've been talking about for a year is here, but it's still doable. We still have drivers making money, so there's that. And it's through these times that experience really kind of comes in. If you've only been driving a couple of years and you're now an owner operator, you've never had to deal with this mentally or financially, this kind of scenario, because this is the highest price of fuel that we've ever had. And so we don't know if we don't know how this looks on the other side. But if you keep out the trolls, who will keep those pesky goats off the bridge? That's true. That is true. Nothing witty. So, but if no one wants to come in, we'll end the feed. And no harm, no foul, right? I've been dealing with a few things at home. I know everybody gives me crap for not running my truck right now, but we're dispatching a light trucking person, so there's that, and trying to help another person, trying to mentor them, and only time will tell if it's going to work or not. So, anyways, going once, going twice. No one wants to come in. We will be done with this live feed. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I've got a lot of things to do later on today. I got to book loads for 2 trucks. And V10 26 foot, pulling a Ranger on a trailer, U-Haul, 6.9 miles a gallon. Yep, not much better than your semi truck. So that kind of helps prove that point. Is it a Ford 650, F650, whatever? Maxed out, probably. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to email. Emails in the description. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head in the game. If you're looking for an exit plan, I will say this: make sure you go with a company that you know is going to survive whatever's coming, right? Make sure you go with a company that's going to be able to withstand the storm. Don't sit there and work for someone that can barely pay their bills, which is what's happening a lot. I'm seeing that a lot. A lot of these small carriers that popped up when the rates were really good are now struggling, and they're cutting their driver's pay, or they're losing their trucks to repo, or they're in major debt, and they can't. I know a person that's not going to get paid for 2 weeks because they were working for the wrong person. So just be aware of that. Be careful, and you know the strong survive. So hope for today, or strength for today, hope for tomorrow. All right. So for that, let's. I will leave you with this. Have a good day.